I just think of myself as Floyd Mayweather. What I want the people to really know is this, and what they gotta really know is this. I can really fight. So that's what you gotta know. I don't know if he had 1 fight or 2 fights against like probably another YouTuber, I don't really know. He can come out, fight hard as you wanna fight. The results will always be the same.
We couldn't fight in LA. Commissioner said, Floyd, don't hit him too hard. Go light on him. Take it easy on him. I said, well, LA, y'all can't get this fight.
A lot of times when guys fight me, guys fight just to go the distance, to say, I went the distance with Floyd Mayweather. But guess what? Can't stop me. You name a fighter, the results, it's always the same. I tell my kids, go out and build your own legacy like I did for myself. I was able to beat the best in my era. I'm still undefeated. I mean, I think it's gonna be crazy. And I think it's good for the sport of boxing. But I'm not worried. You can mark my word to this. I can guarantee you this. The results will always be the same.
Put the retirement narrative aside for a moment, because the footage coming from the camp of Floyd Mayweather Jr. doesn't resemble a fighter casually preparing for an exhibition.
He said, how you got competing? He said, how you got all the money? And boy, I don't take no punch. Now I move. You got it? Make sure all lady got it. You got it? Okay. I want the old lady. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm an old man. Come on. So record the old man. Oh. Whoa. Okay, Mom. Mom, Michael, come here. Make it look good for Mom. Back. Make it look good for Mom. Get back. Make it look good for Mom. Make it look good for Mom. Make it look good for Mom. Get back. Get back.
The mitt work still carries that precise, laser-timed rhythm. Quick bursts, sharp angles, and almost no wasted movement. When he moves to the heavy bag, it's no longer only touch and move finesse. The punches land with purpose, compact, sharp, and unexpectedly heavy. Even the sparring footage shows a different tone. Not playful rounds or relaxed work, but controlled intensity and carefully calculated pressure drills, suggesting preparation for a much larger and more imposing opponent. That is where the narrative becomes particularly interesting.
Nope. Nope. Yeah.
When legendary fighters begin preparing with this type of focus, the entire conversation gradually changes. At that point, the focus moves away from nostalgic headlines and toward legacy.
Yes. Bring it on. Low. Yes.
Because once Floyd steps between those ropes, nobody is debating business models anymore. All eyes lock in on one thing: two iconic fight identities colliding again under real lights, real stakes, and very real intensity.
Boxing pretty. Boxing pretty. Boxing pretty, my boy. Woo!
Those razor-sharp training clips of Floyd Mayweather Jr., moving as if time never affected him, immediately collide with the skepticism of Shawn Porter, creating a reality check grounded not in highlight footage, but in pure boxing logic. The moment Porter says the matchup doesn't make sense, the analytical brakes are applied, not out of disrespect, but from the perspective of someone who understands the sport as a fighter.
You don't see this one coming unless you know the history of these two guys.
Yeah, they don't like each other too much, do they, Shawn?
When you look at the history, it's kind of like sense for a street fight. It doesn't make sense for like a in the ring situation, and so it's kind of like, I guess for the sake of words, crazier things have happened, and then now you have to say, well, no, it doesn't get crazier than this.
When Porter asks how one could realistically analyze a fight between Mike Tyson and Mayweather, it highlights the true puzzle of the matchup. On one side stands a nearly 60-year-old heavyweight icon, and on the other, a defensive mastermind whose career was built on speed, angles, and the art of avoiding danger altogether. When Porter notes that Tyson likely had limited sparring before facing Jake Paul, it becomes a crucial detail, because preparing for Mayweather's timing without intense sparring is like
you can see that it was directly because he did not spar. If he's gonna get in the ring with Floyd Mayweather, the thing he needs more than he needed with Jake is timing. The timing just wasn't there in the fight with Jake Paul. If he's gonna get in the ring with Floyd Mayweather, he's gonna have to do some sparring. He's gonna have to spar some, really fast guys. And I don't know at what level he's gonna take this serious. You know what I mean? I don't know. Mike, I think he's just beyond that age of there's something you can do to muster it up.
Right.
I think he's all ketchup. There's no mustard there anymore.
Porter's cat and mouse description of Mayweather fits perfectly, reflecting a strategic blueprint that has defined his career for decades. Yet Porter introduces a striking possibility with a simple thought. What happens if Tyson actually manages to catch him? That single idea creates tension, because while Mayweather is known for escaping danger, Tyson still represents heavyweight power and mentality. Porter ultimately returns to uncertainty, even questioning whether the fight will happen at all, which contrasts sharply with the intense training narratives circulating elsewhere.
Floyd has done the cat and mouse game his entire life, and so he knows how to be fast. He knows how to get in and get out. The thing that I think would be really interesting to see would be to see Mike get a hold of him,
Yeah.
Because I think if Mike were to get a hold of him, Floyd's a professional. He knows how to get out of those things. But this is like 200 and something pounds, and it's Mike Tyson, and I know mentally it's I finally got you, and I wonder what that's going to look like, so it's not until you start to talk about it.
The analytical uncertainty created by Shawn Porter regarding timing, sparring, and the complex challenge of Mike Tyson trying to solve a defensive mastermind suddenly meets the puzzled reaction of Gareth A. Davies, almost like someone switching on the lights in a room filled with promotional hype. His initial tone is confusion rather than excitement, which speaks volumes. When Wade expresses genuine surprise that contracts are reportedly signed, it immediately shifts the situation from rumor to something that suggests boxing is fully embracing the spectacle-driven era he has been describing. He even describes it as something of a spin-off from the Jake Paul versus Tyson spectacle, a comparison that feels sharp but realistic about modern boxing economics.
The tail of the tape, they have it here. Mike 59, Floyd 48, Mike 5'10", Floyd at 5'8", Floyd with a 72-inch reach at 5'8", Mike with one of the shortest reaches for his height, 50-7, 50-0, and their KOs. No mention of the weight here in the tail of the tape. Interesting. An exact date and precise location are not yet known, but nonetheless, Tyson said he's thrilled to be slated to mix it up with Floyd, who he hasn't always had the greatest relationship. Quote, "This fight is something neither the world nor I ever thought would or could happen." That is correct. Fair play to Mike there. Iron Mike said, however, boxing has entered a new era of the unpredictable, and this fight is as unpredictable as it gets. He's right.
Wade also notes that many casual fans believe Tyson still had something left competitively, a statement that resonates when it is connected to what audiences have recently seen in the ring: real movement and performance rather than nostalgia or mythology. When he jokes that either the entire world might watch or almost nobody might tune in, that uncertainty mirrors Tyson's own reference to a new era of unpredictability. Perhaps the most telling moment comes when Wade admits he will still watch, despite criticizing the spectacle, capturing modern fight fandom perfectly. Skepticism competing with curiosity. He also raises concerns about legacy perception, particularly the possibility that newer fans might judge legendary careers through late-stage exhibitions, creating an uncomfortable yet realistic clash between nostalgia and present-day visuals.
Think that this one's gonna be any different? The answer is no. Floyd, even though he's slowed down, even though he's much smaller, is going to run circles around Mike Tyson in this. Mike's gonna have real trouble even getting to the fight. If we saw the Jake Paul exhibition, Mike was hospitalized for a bit, then he had to take a lot of time off from training, had a stomach ulcer, and then again, the limping to the ring. Oh man, the whole detrimental to his health. It's detrimental to Mike's health to even try to do this. The article keeps going, this fight will be an exhibition, so Mayweather isn't risking his perfect 50-0 record, though he doesn't sound concerned about Tyson in any way. I've been doing this for 30 years, and there hasn't been a single fighter that can tarnish my legacy, Mayweather said.
It transforms into insider-level analysis when Max Kellerman and the panel begin breaking the situation down as if it were less a fight and more a large-scale event calculation. When Kellerman remarks, "Let the old guys make some money," it doesn't sound sarcastic at all. It feels like straightforward business realism expressed politely. Then Shady casually mentions a possible sequence. First, a Mike Tyson exhibition, followed later by a rematch between Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather Jr. And it begins to sound less like a comeback strategy and more like a legacy tour built around pay-per-view calculations. When Kellerman references Terrence Crawford and subtly suggests that Mayweather might never have taken that matchup during Crawford's prime, it comes across as a sharp historical critique framed as analysis.
So Floyd was never going to fight Bud, but Pacquiao? By the way, when Floyd, the rumors were, or the reporting was that he was going broke, you were skeptical about it. Now that he's coming back, are you still skeptical about it?
Very good, Max. Yeah. Are you skeptical about it, Shady?
That's one thing I don't do. I don't talk about no other athletes' money. I don't do that.
By the way, my hope is that Floyd isn't going broke.
Right.
So if he is, that he makes all the money in the world for a Pacquiao fight and rides off into the sunset a rich man. I wish him the best.
I want to fight somebody. I don't care about the money and all that.
Who you want him to fight?
That's not good with Pacquiao. Pacquiao just drew with Barrios.
And you see he
Kellerman also explains that he never believed Pacquiao had the stylistic advantage over Mayweather, a viewpoint consistent with the defensive hierarchy often discussed in boxing. Greater reach, sharper precision, and disciplined defense usually translate into control, even years later. Interestingly, the panel openly acknowledges that the first fight was not particularly entertaining, while still discussing the possibility of watching a rematch, which perfectly reflects fan psychology. criticism during the week, yet viewership when the fight actually happens. When Kellerman introduces a hypothetical scenario about choosing a live Mayweather-Pacquiao event even over other major broadcasts, it highlights the powerful brand recognition associated with their names.
Watching Floyd fight is actually more my style of that perfect boxer.
That's what
when
I-
I do a pound for pound ranking, I'm trying to be objective. Pacquiao jumped more weight classes. What he did pound for pound to me was more impressive.
But you have him over Floyd in the
But I
pound for pound
never thought Pacquiao was going to beat Floyd, ever.
But
never
Pacquiao,
thought
he's one of my favorite fighters.
Who?
Floyd and Pacquiao, they're one of my favorite fighters. But I still
Floyd's
want to
the
see
longer, bigger, better defensive fighter.
Right.
You know,
But let's be real, what this is all about, business. This is going to be a mega event. Doesn't matter how old they are. They're the two biggest names in boxing today, even if they aren't, necessarily the most active fighters. And Mayweather's going to have his exhibition with Mike Tyson in the Congo.
When you step back and consider the entire picture, Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s camp appearing extremely sharp, Shawn Porter questioning the logic, analysts like Wade highlighting the spectacle element, and Max Kellerman framing it as a large, business-driven event. The central question shifts from, is this a real fight? To what kind of moment does this represent for boxing? In many ways, elite preparation appears to be colliding simultaneously with analytical skepticism and commercial reality. On one side, the training footage demonstrates discipline, timing, and a sense of legacy pride, while the other perspective continues to emphasize that factors such as age, size differences, and exhibition dynamics remain relevant despite the legendary names involved. That contradiction is precisely what creates the intrigue. It is neither purely sport nor entirely spectacle, but rather a unique middle ground where nostalgia, ego, financial incentives.
He knew he wasn't used to being
Not to
top
get too
boxer,
far
right?
afield, guys, the point is, whatever you thought about that fight going in, when that fight was going on, you had to watch it. The question about making a big event is it compelling enough that even if, I talk about this with Jake Paul sometimes, right? Whatever you want to say, when he chooses the right opponent, you're going to watch it.
Now here's the real debate. Are we witnessing calculated legacy theater or two elite minds refusing to let their competitive fire fade quietly? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's really talk about it. And yo, don't ever forget to like, share, and subscribe to Boxing Headquarters. See you in the next one.